Did the Israeli army give clearance to kill some of its own soldiers and Israeli civilians on October 7th? An investigation by Israeli newspaper Haaretz says the Israeli army ordered the Hannibal Directive in the hours after the Hamas attack last year. The Hannibal Directive is a highly controversial Israeli military protocol that aims to prevent the capture of a soldier by enemy forces at any cost, even at the expense of their lives. In the case of October 7th, Haaretz says it was used against Israeli civilians too. The Hannibal Directive was first drawn up in 1986 when 3 Israeli soldiers were captured by Lebanese armed group Hezbollah. Members of an Israeli brigade did not fire on the vehicles because the soldiers were inside. The directive was created so that this would never happen again. It stipulates the maximum use of force by the Israeli army in the event of a kidnapping. It allows the opening of indiscriminate fire at abductors and Israeli soldiers being abducted. The Haaretz investigation into October 7th is based on the testimonies of soldiers and senior army officials. The report mentions that the Hannibal Directive was widespread, but specifically mentions its use inside 3 army bases infiltrated by Hamas. The Israeli army even went as far as dispatching an unmanned assault drone onto one base. But it wasn't just army bases. The Israeli army allegedly issued an order that not a single vehicle can return to Gaza sometime on October 7th, and fired mortars targeting vehicles going towards Gaza. The vehicles would likely have been carrying captive Israeli soldiers and civilians, something which the Israeli army almost certainly knew. The death toll in Israel from the Hamas-led attacks is estimated at 1,139 people, while almost 250 people were taken captive back to Gaza. Haaretz says it doesn't know how many civilians or soldiers were targeted by their own forces, but that the data shows that many civilians were exposed to Israeli gunfire. A case that's received a lot of attention has been that of an Israeli brigadier general who apparently ordered a tank to fire shells at a house in Kibbutz Be'eri, where he knew captives were being held by Hamas. Of the 14 Israeli captives, 13 were killed. The Israeli army says it's conducting a thorough internal investigation into what happened on October 7th and the preceding period. Prior to these latest allegations, Israel last invoked the Hannibal Directive during the war in Gaza in 2014, according to leaked military recordings. The Israeli military has always denied this. The Hannibal Directive was believed to have been revoked by the Israeli army in 2016. But according to these reports about October 7th, that wasn't permanent.